Cindy, while you're letting them in, I want to tell everyone here, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and having interest to hear from the candidates. But we are going to go ahead and get started and open with a prayer. Cindy, if you're okay to continue to let people in, then we'll just go ahead and do that. But we're going to start with prayer. If you can do that, Andy, and then we'll go to the forum rules. Thank you.
Yep. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us this day. Every day that you bring us is a divine blessing created by your own hand. Father, we live in a dark time in this state and throughout this entire nation. The hearts of men have turned against you, and they've turned against just decency and compassion for fellow men and women. Lord, we come to you. We wish for your divine light to shine upon all of us, and especially in the candidates today, to open their hearts and just pour out to us their true thoughts, their true intentions, so that we can make a better informed decision guided by you. In the name of your Son, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Are you ready to jump into the forum rules?
I think we are. So for those of you that may have attended any of the past forums that I've done for various things, you will recognize these rules to be quite similar, except for now, of course, they are modified for the expediency of a Zoom forum instead of in person. We have just 6 basic rules, and I'll read those through these quickly here. Number 1, chair candidates will answer the first question in alphabetical order. Then the second question will be answered by the next in alphabetical order, ending with the first in alphabetical order. Third question will likewise be answered first by the third in alphabetical order, and so on. This system will continue throughout the forum to ensure all candidates have a nearly equal chance of being first and last to answer questions. 2, each chair candidate shall have 3 minutes to respond to each question. A 30-second wrap-up warning will be signaled, followed by a 15-second warning. When the moderators, myself and Bree, thank the candidate, it is to signify the 3-minute mark is over. Assistants shall then mute, Cindy, that would be you. Cindy shall then mute the candidate's microphone before unmuting the next candidate's microphone. The 3-minute response time shall begin when the candidate first speaks to answer a question. All questions shall be worded so that all candidates have an opportunity to respond. No candidate-specific hit-piece questions or questions about the other candidate shall be asked. Candidates shall direct their answers to the moderators, not to other candidates or anyone in the audience, except the introduction and closing remarks. At the beginning of the forum, candidates shall receive 2 minutes to introduce themselves. At the conclusion of the questions, each chair candidate shall receive 2 minutes of closing remarks to wrap up why he or she deserved the votes of state committee members. Following the 2-minute candidate wrap-up round, candidates will be removed from the Zoom. State committee members may remain on if they so choose. And Cindy, do we have anyone else in the room?
Yes, yeah, everybody should be in.
Oh, we've got a couple more minutes.
Yep, we'll wait for a couple more minutes. So for our candidates, thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. We're excited to hear from you. As you're speaking, I want to let you know, you do not have to fulfill all of the 3 minutes. The questions have been designed so that you most definitely can answer them within 3 minutes. If you don't use all of that time, it's okay. But if you do get to the end of your time, you'll see the 30 seconds come up. That's backwards to you guys. If you can't read it, you shouldn't be running for chair right now. So you're going to have to do it in reverse. And then you'll see 15 seconds that will come up as well. And then again, when your time has come to an end, we'll let you know. When we get to 6:30, we're going to go ahead and start. And all of you, I believe, did the candidates get the questions in advance? Yep.
A couple hours.
So when we do get to 6:30, we'll start with Lena. And Lena, you'll get to open with your 2-minute introduction. And then we'll hear from Pete. And then we'll hear from Vance. And then once we're done with the introductions, we're going to start with that same order. And we're going to go right into the first question. Candidates, do you have any questions?
Lena, you can unmute yourself. And Pete, you can unmute yourself. And
okay, I have no questions. I'm fine.
Vance, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave them unmuted. That way they
Sure.
can just come right in and talk.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
And then candidates, as we go forward, if you would like us to repeat the question, let us know, but I would imagine that you probably all printed them off. We're gonna start for the listeners and we'll open with the question, but once one candidate's time concludes, if the next candidate will call your name, and if you're able to go into that question again, if you would need us to read that again, just let us know and we can go through that again. Are you ready?
Well, I think candidates, we're ready to go. We want to start with the introduction first, 2 minutes. Lena, you have the stage for 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
Lena, are you there?
Yes, is there any video component this evening? Or just audio?
You can go ahead and start your video, Lena.
Very good. Good evening to the wonderful State Committee of the Michigan Republican Party. I'm Lena Epstein, one of your 3 candidates this evening, running for the chairman's role. I'm a 42-year-old business owner, mom, conservative precinct delegate out of Oakland County. Been a precinct delegate for over 10 years now, and my heart and soul is with the base of this party. Under the Biden administration and the Whitmer administration, it's been a very, very painful, difficult time to be a Michigan citizen. I'm stepping up to take over leadership of the Michigan Republican Party because our message is the winning message that will resound with the voters in November. Under the current and most previous administration, voters, delegates, activists, and donors have been disenfranchised from a party that has left them behind. I'm running for the Michigan Republican Party chairman's position because I am a leader who is able to unite the factions, raise the money necessary to win, and deliver victory for the United States presidency, the U.S. Senate seat that's open in Michigan, and we will reclaim the House. I have a long 20-year tenure at running the company called Vesco Oil Corporation. Under my leadership, the company is now the 6th largest women-owned business in Michigan. When I took over the company 20 years ago, we had $100 million in sales and operated in 1 state. And today, under my leadership, the company now operates over $250 million in annual sales and operates in 6 states across the Midwest. Leading the Michigan Republican Party right now, my friends, will not be easy. And what separates me from the pack is that I have the business experience to deliver results, the courage to speak the truth, and the inspiration to build the winning team of the grassroots army and incredible staff to deliver major victories in November. I'm a graduate of Harvard University and the University of Ross School of Business. My passion for the base, I hope, will come through tonight. And most of all, my love of God, love of family, love of country, and love of this wonderful state committee. We have been divided for far too long. And we fought
that's,
so.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
All right,
Cindy,
thank you, Lena. Thank
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
got to run a
Bree.
tight ship. Thank you.
Thank-
Cindy, if you could put the video on for Pete next.
Yep, Pete, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and start your video.
And a 2-minute introduction when you're ready.
I'm still unable to start the video.
Okay, you should be able to.
There we go. There we go.
Start. There you go. Okay.
All right, thanks. I love all the technical opportunities we have. Hey, thank you. Thank you for hosting this forum. Thank you to Andy Bree for moderating this session. Also, it's great to see Lena and Vance. But most importantly, I want to thank those who stepped up on January 6, 2024 to make this evening even possible and to open up the consideration for a new chairman for the Michigan Republican Party. I think many of you know my background. I spent 15 years at Herman Miller, a Fortune 500 company. I left the company as the vice president of marketing. And then I ran for Congress. I spent 18 years in Congress, and I was then Trump's ambassador to the Netherlands. But I think perhaps the most important thing that you need to walk away from tonight is what you know about Pete Hoekstra. People describe me as a cause guy. In 1992, I took on a 26-year Republican incumbent congressman because I believed he was no longer representing my values and my district's value in Washington appropriately. That was a worthwhile cause to fight for. 1993, I get to Washington, and my marketing background, I get a call from Newt Gingrich. He says, Pete, and I meet with Newt, he says, I want you to take your marketing experience from the private sector and apply it to a cause, winning the first Republican majority in 40 years. The result was probably one of the most innovative national political campaigns in history, the contract with America. I participated in developing that contract and bringing about those kinds of results. I fought the cause to balance the federal budget in the 90s. We got it done. We balanced the budget for 4 years in the late 1990s. I fought against my friends. I fought the cause. What cause? To stop George Bush's #1 legislative priority in 2001. No child left behind. The Bush was wrong. I fought the cause, led by Republicans and Democrats in the U.S. Chamber, to provide permanent normal trade relations to China.
Thank you, Pete. That's the 2 minutes there.
Okay.
Cindy, if we could, thank you. Cindy, if we could see Vance now and have him unmuted.
Yep. Vance, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and start your video.
I keep hitting start video and I'm not starting.
We can hear you, Vance.
I'm working on it. Says start video. I hit start video. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, no, it should be. All right, go ahead and try it now.
Start video.
There you
There
go,
we go.
Vance. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name's Vance Patrick. I ran for Congress in 2020, did the best any Republican did. And before that, I was the one that got the Belle Isle Aquarium reopened in Detroit. And, you know, people say that it was Vance Patrick that got the Belle Isle Aquarium reopened. But what I remind everybody was it was a group of dedicated volunteers led by Vance Patrick. That's what the plaque says on the wall. And I'm the chair of Oakland County Republican Party right now. And that's the way we've been running Oakland County. I don't ask my volunteers to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. I've been out door knocking. I've been out lit dropping. We've been on the phones. Everything that we do here at Oakland County is a team effort. The way I look at this challenge for the Michigan State Party is a team effort. I saw that this party was slipping. And when everybody kept saying, it's like, well, let's see if we can get past Mackinac. Unfortunately, Mackinac was just another milestone of failures that happened to this party. What we've been doing at Oakland County is having to pick up the pieces and make this part, the Oakland County, work because of the lack of things that have happened at the state party. What we're doing right now is we've got a field staff because of the fact that the state party doesn't have the field staff. So we're doing the same thing here in Oakland County that the state party should be doing. So I'm looking forward to taking everything that we're doing in Oakland County and just making it bigger and expanding it to Michigan and then turn Michigan red in November. So vote for Vance Patrick at the end of the day here. It's 30 seconds, Bree. I beat you.
All right. Thank you, Vance. We appreciate that. Bree, would you like to start off with the questions?
Absolutely. You all, first of all, thank you for the intros. Lena, are you ready for the first question?
I am,
Okay.
Bree.
Okay, for the audience, the first question is, in order of importance, what are your spending priorities? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much. My spending priorities are very vast, and I have a lot of priorities, so it's hard to limit it to 3. But if I had to pick the top 3, it would be restoring the party to financial health. It would be serving candidates for victory in November, and then rebuilding our communications and our messaging to the voters statewide. When it comes to financial health, on day 1, I will be bringing in $500,000 of seed money and a line of credit from the Bank of America, Comerica Bank, and others. Comerica Bank is a bank that I deal with on a regular basis. I have very good relationships with the people that operate that bank. It's a bank that my company does business with. And I'm ready to put personal money in and establish a line of credit with Comerica as we rebuild the relationship with this wonderful bank. Financial health is at the center of my priorities as the incoming state party chair. The resources are not everything, but the financial resources give us the ability to disseminate what's necessary so the grassroots can get our work done of reaching the voter. When it comes to candidates, the Michigan Republican Party is going to be open for business to offer resources to candidates from the United States Congress to Library Board, economies of scale, training, people, when it comes to print, mail, digital, and radio. And in terms of communications, I envision a very robust and ambitious and expensive media tour where we reach all 83 counties, all 50 states, and send a worldwide message that the Michigan Republican Party is strong, we're here to stay, we're united, we're growing, and we're a party of love and faith and family and individual responsibility. I think if we get our message across once we are well funded, our best days lie ahead, and I hope that everyone can see the excitement that I have. My financial acumen, my ability to raise money is what separates me from the pack tonight, and I do really appreciate the opportunity to present this to the voters. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena. Pete, are you ready to take off with that? Would you like me to repeat the question?
Nope, I'm fine. I'm all set. The question is about.
The floor is all yours.
Okay, great. Thank you. The question is about, spending priorities. Well, the first thing that we have to do is we have to validate the decision that was made on January 6, 2024. If we do not expend the funds necessary to be recognized as the legal representation of the Michigan GOP, everything else just kind of falls aside. We elected, and you selected to vacate the chair of the Michigan GOP party on January 6th. On Saturday, you're going to vote for a new chairman. And Saturday afternoon, or the first time we can file with the court, we need to establish our credibility, and we need to spend the money to win in court if that is what the current, or the folks that believe they are the current representation of the Republican Party in Michigan to do, and they do not recognize what happens on Saturday. Fundraising, everything else just falls aside if we do not get that credibility. So that is the number one priority. Get a hold of, establish our credibility, establish our position, get hold of the bank accounts, and be able to go to our donors with a very, very positive message that this is the GOP party. You can trust us, you can work with us, and we have the credibility to enable us and to enable Michigan to be successful and take advantage of all of the opportunities that we have in 2024. So where do you go then? You go to hiring the qualified staff, picking the right people, doing a national search to identify those individuals that will put together the program, the strategies, and the tactics that enable us to win. And we can do a national search because of what's at stake at Michigan. If we win Michigan for the president, we have selected the next president of the United States. And when we select our candidate for president and they win in Michigan, it gives us a great chance to achieve our other accomplishments or other tasks. Elect a senator, pick up congressional seats, and take the state house. We're going to have decentralized field offices. We're going to do voter contact, get out the vote, and we're going to also focus on election integrity to make sure that we have confidence that we win in 2024 and we did it the right way.
Okay, thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete. Vance, What are your spending priorities? Nope, hold on here. We have you muted. Can you? Cindy, are you there?
I'm unmuted, I bet now.
There you go. We see it. All right. The floor is all yours, Vance. Thank you.
Thanks, Lena. Bree.
That's all right. I like Lena. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
Here. You know, the importance of spending. It's all about the raising the money. We know we've got to raise money, and raising the money is one of our key things that we need to do. But spending the money is getting the field staff. With the field staff, and that's what we've been doing in Oakland County, is that's what's going to take to get the voter turnout. We've got to engage the people in Michigan and let them know that the Republican Party is here for them. Then moving on into our candidates. Our candidates will do everything we can to get them across the line too. It's about engaging the public, raising the funds, and then getting candidates across the finish line. And eventually we know the president's going to be needing our help as well. So again, all of us coming together to bring the victory in the fall. We also need to have enough money to cover TV, mail, and the direct mail programs. That's what it's going to take. I mean, this is not going to be an easy task, but that's why we're all here. This has got to be a team effort.
Dude, you're banking the time tonight, aren't you? I told you can't
No,
bank
I'm not.
it.
I even on TV, they say you're not Rocky. I go, yeah, you're exactly right. I'm not Rocky.
Thank you.
Okay, question number 2, and we're going to start with Pete on this one. Now we're going to be looking at the other side of the balance sheet. What are your fundraising goals and how will you attain them?
Historically, the Michigan Republican Party has raised in the neighborhood of $20 to $30 million per cycle. This one is going to end up being more expensive just because of what's at stake and how important Michigan is. So there are lots of outside groups that are out there that are going to want to invest in Michigan, and we need to make sure that the MIGOP is a viable alternative. It's the destination of preference for outside groups to invest in Michigan and invest in the MIGOP to make a difference in the election. We need to establish the identity of the Michigan GOP, and then we have to go back and build the trust with our donor network nationally. For the last 13 months, we have destroyed our relationship with our donors. Think about it. The NRCC donated or transferred $250,000 to the Michigan Party. How did we respond? We called it money laundering. We said, we're not going to spend it the way you want us to spend it. We'll spend it whatever way we want to, and then spent the rest of their communication trashing one of our congressmen. Well, I can tell you the folks in DC talk. The National Republican Campaign Committee, they're not going to transfer money back to the MIGOP unless we've reestablished our credibility and the trust with them. I was a congressman. I was part of the NRCC. The Senatorial Committee is not going to donate to the MIGOP. They'll find another place to do it once they hear this story from the NRCC. The RNC is going to be reluctant. So we've got to rebuild the trust. I can open those doors in Washington because I know those folks. I've worked with them. And we've got to demonstrate to them that the MIGOP, when they donate, we add value to the dollars that they send. What are the top sources? Major donors in the state of Michigan, obviously. But I'm also going to make sure we focus on small donors. When you get the small donor community writing $10 or $15 checks, what does that mean? It means they've bought into your vision and your mission, and they'll go out and do the door-to-door phone banks and those types of things. We got to go to approach business groups, go to the RSC, NRC, RNC to make sure that they're contributing to our efforts, and we will do it with a team of folks.
Destination of what?
All right, thank you, Pete. Up next, we have Vance. What are your fundraising goals and how will you attain them?
Well, first of all, the first thing we got to look at is a forensic audit. We've got to find out where whatever is left, if there's anything left. And we know that the MIG can raise millions of dollars because they has done in the past. The biggest thing right now is letting the donors know that there's confidence in this party. And again, that's what I think we've been doing. We need to let the donors know that it's safe to reinvest and come back to the Republican Party. We've been scaring them away with the things that we've been doing right now by, waving your hands up in the air and screaming, and it's name calling. Everybody stays away. In fact, at the Oakland County right now, we're having an audit, and people that were doing recounts, they said, you know what? We don't want anything to do with the Republican Party anymore after they saw the way the recount went. It's disgusting. And just me on the street, people are saying, I don't want to do anything with the Republican Party because of the fact what we see. This administration has got to be bringing people back together. What we need to do is bring people back, give them the confidence, and raise the money. I've been already talking to a lot of our donors that have been in the past, and they said with confidence, they will come back. Oakland County has plenty of money in it. And we've been reaching out to the donors in Oakland County as well. They see what we're doing in Oakland County. We've raised money with large events. So that's the way we're looking at this. Seriously, it's probably going to be $40,000 to $50,000 a month because of the fact that what's it going to take to pay the debt, hire field staff, and then keep the ship afloat? We're not going to have hundreds of millions of dollars this year. We've only got 9 months till the finish line. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Okay, thank you, Vance.
There are no bonus points, just again, there are no bonus points for banking time.
Lena,
Thank
what are
you,
your
Vance.
fundraising goals and how will you attain them?
Yes, Andy and Bree, I love fundraising. It's one of my God-given talents. It's what I look forward to doing as part of my political work for this party. I've established a $10 million fundraising goal, a $10 million budget. Having raised over $25 million in the last number of years, I can tell you that I know where the donors are. I have those donor relationships inside of the business community by virtue of my position in the business community. In order to raise the $10 million, I did mention that I'm going to offer $500,000 of seed funding first, a new line of credit with Comerica. And if I want another bank, we will look at that, but certainly Comerica. And I will go about the very detailed and important work of going back to the donors who have been disenfranchised by the most previous administration. It was so painful to watch the donors be disenfranchised by the previous administration. I'm also very, very excited about the small dollar grassroots fundraising efforts that are already going on around the state. I think that us as a grassroots army is so strong and so powerful. And if those of us that can put together $25, $50, $75, those numbers do come together. I raised so much money in my race for United States Congress in 2018 that it was the second most expensive race for Congress in the history of Michigan. I am unafraid to reach out to everybody nationwide to shine a very bright light that all roads to the White House are going to once again go through Michigan. And how do we shine that bright light? We shine it with money. And I do think that a $10 million goal is something that I can commit to all of you on the line tonight. I've done it before and I can do it again. For the people, the team that has worked with me, they know that I'm an avid and dedicated fundraiser. I'm used to making the asks. I hold major events at my home and my office and throughout the community with my civic involvement. I could not be more excited about raising money for this party. And I can tell you that my friends who donate to this party are excited to come back. A lot of the major donors, the major donors don't write checks with strings attached. I think a lot of that is smoke and mirrors. A lot of people that write checks want to roll up their sleeves, knock doors, put in the yard signs, the bumper stickers. They want to lick the envelopes and make the calls, but they can't because they're running businesses and doing other things. I'm so excited to be a unifying member, bringing donor members back to the party. Thank you so much. I have a list of the 1,000 largest donors to the Michigan Republican Party in the last 10 years, and I will be personally calling through all of that list, asking them for money. And I'm very excited and look forward to being successful in that venture. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Lena, thank you.
You like the next one?
Sure. So we're going to start first with Vance. Vance, what do you view as the role of the MRP chair in relation to the RNC, district chairs, county chairs, and delegates?
Well, the Oakland, MRP chair of relation to RNC. Okay. Well, obviously the MRP chair is the top of the ticket. Your goal is pretty much you're the daddy for Michigan, and then you've got the RNC to go to for money for support. But the RNC's already come to Oakland County. If this party didn't get its ship righted, they were going to trust Oakland County with the funds transferred through Oakland County. So it already shows that what we're doing in Oakland County is seen on the national level. But what we're looking to do with the districts and county chairs is, again, help them with the boots on the ground, keeping them going. It's our job to provide infrastructure for the local communities to make them successful. Again, we're not looking to be people have been asking, well, why isn't Oakland County donate to MRP? Well, that's not the way it works. It's a top-down organization. So Michigan Republican Party is here to help all the down ticket events, the congressional districts, the state reps, and then all the way down to school board, library board, like Lena said. So that's what we're trying to do right here. So that's what I see the goal as the Michigan Republican Party chair, relationship building from the top all the way down.
Thank you, Vance. Lena, you're actually next on this.
Great. I love the RNC. I'm excited to work with the members of the RNC, and I will be the most dedicated asker of money that the RNC has ever had. I'm not afraid to ask for money and resources. And Saturday night after we win, I will be contacting the RNC to ask for a significant donation. Other than that, I really think that the Michigan Republican Party needs to protect its autonomy. We, those of us on this Zoom call tonight, we are the base of the party that worked so hard to get control of the party. So when it comes to the RNC, we will maintain our independence, but continue to have that good relationship. My attitude as a business person coming into this role is that the district chairman and all members of state committee are those to whom I'm responsible for. By virtue of some of the $10 million that we raised, we're going to have field offices in all 13 districts. These offices are going to be available to the district chairs and the county chairs and delegates that work inside of these regions. It will be my responsibility and opportunity to offer each of the district chairs, the county chairs, and the delegates outstanding customer service. At the end of the day, Bree and Andy, I think that the role of the Michigan Republican Party chairman is to be accessible. I want the district chairman calling me on day one, asking for money, asking for resources, asking for field staff, for economies of scale. So I will be beholden to the district chairman, the county chairman, the members of state committee that elect me on Saturday afternoon, and of course, all of the delegates. I think that this is a beautiful network. We can all work simultaneously and symbiotically. And I think because I'm a collaborative team player, I'm going to be very early on to reach out to all of these people that have been disenfranchised by the previous administration. I couldn't be more excited to work with these different entities inside of the party, but I want to underscore tonight that the power of the Michigan Republican Party is and will stay with the grassroots of this party. It simply must, and I will protect that no matter what. Thank you.
Lena, thank you so much. Pete, it's your turn. Your relation with the RNC, district chairs, county chairs, and delegates.
Well, thanks. I've had the opportunity to work with all of these groups and work with them very successfully. The first exposure that I got to working with the Republican National Committee was the contract with America in 1993. And I saw the unique relationship that Newt Gingrich and Haley Barbour formed as they planned to take over Congress for the first time in 40 years. It was unprecedented. Haley Barbour pretty much showed up every week at our congressional caucus, where all the Republican members came together. Haley bought in to the vision that was presented by Newt Gingrich that said, we can win and we can take the majority and we will have the speaker's gavel in 1995. The job of the Michigan GOP chairman in the next 9 to 10 months is to be the biggest salesperson for the MIGOP, selling our capabilities, selling our vision to the RNC so they select Michigan as one of the places where they're going to invest because they know that they've got the team supporting and working with them that can win. In terms of dealing with district chairs, in dealing with county chairs, in dealing with the grassroots, very simple. We are here to help. We are here to help you organize. We are here to get out the vote. We are here to help make sure that the elections that you are targeting as being important in your area are the ones where the Michigan GOP party can come in and help facilitate and encourage your success. Lena's right. We're at that point in time, we are a service organization, but we are much more than that. We also, in the state, the Michigan GOP chairperson can help set the tone that will define the debate for the election. What are the issues we want to talk about? Sure, we want to talk about what Biden's doing on the national level, inflation, the borders, and those types of things. But in Michigan, we want to talk about Gretchen Whitmer giving $4 billion in economic assistance to Chinese battery plants. Okay, that's our money. That's her priority on a technology that if you want a Tesla, go to Chicago tomorrow. You can buy one because it's frozen at the charging station. But we have to expose the failures of the Biden and the Whitmer administrations. We can provide the cover that create an overall positive framework for Republicans in 2024.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Next up, we're going to start with Lena first on this one. Lena, there has been a great awakening of Michigan's Muslim population. Will the Michigan Republican Party, under your leadership, support the efforts of the vice chairs, especially our Muslim vice chairs? And how will you offer this support?
Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I'm very, very excited to answer this question. The Michigan Republican Party is a very broad and wide tent. In the past administration, we did not do a good job articulating that to the voters across the state of Michigan. We welcome all religions, including those of the Muslim faith, to join our party and be active. I'm excited that we have 2 members of our vice chair committee that are Muslim. These are my friends. We have a working relationship, and I'm excited to grow with them for the future. We don't win by alienating ourselves from anybody. We want everybody in Michigan to know that they're welcome to be part of this party. There is a place for that person in this party. And I think there's incredible building opportunities. And I'm so excited that we have Muslim vice chairs. And these 2 gentlemen are exceptional people outside of religion and faith, just wonderful human beings. And I'm so happy to be able to work with them. We will appeal to all faiths, all nationalities, all ages, all religious demographics, backgrounds, educational level. Everybody is going to be reminded through this administration of what we stand for. And what we stand for is faith, freedom, country, and limited individual responsibility and limited government. Whether you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, or Hindu, these are messages that resound with the voters. I'm hopeful that we will recruit droves of Muslim precinct delegates, Jewish precinct delegates, Christian precinct delegates, and that we will fully staff our precinct delegate program so that we can take our grassroots army and fight the war against the true enemy, which is our Democrats going into November. So we welcome the Muslims. We love the Muslims. I love the Muslims. And I'm very, very excited to work with these fine people that are already our elected vice chairs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lena. Pete, you're up next. Would you like me to repeat the question, or do you think you have
Nope, I've got it. Thanks again. This is one where we just embrace the opportunity. You know, we saw it in 2022. Because of the policies of the Biden administration, we could go into Dearborn and we could have a massive rally of the grassroots folks in Dearborn. Why? Because the agenda that Republicans were putting forward was an agenda that they could embrace. The agenda that was being put forward by the Democrats, by the Biden administration, is one that they couldn't relate to. So, you know, thank you for the efforts that we put together, that the party put forward in 2022 to reach out to the Muslim community and begin that network and begin the process of building a foundation so that we can come back and we can work with them again in 2024, now not as, you know, new colleagues, but as people that have worked with the party before. They know who we are, they know what we stand for, they are now part of us, and we can expand that base. But it's not just the Muslim community, it's the Jewish community that has been, you know, massively disappointed by the Biden administration. It is the Hispanic community, you know, that has been massively, you know, disenfranchised by the Biden administration. We need to go after the African American voters as well. You know, these are all opportunities. And the other one that we have, we need to reach out to working men and women each and every day. We need to go after union households. We saw this in 2016. I emceed a bunch of the Trump rallies. And when you went to the Trump rallies, and I'd always go an hour or two early, and I just kind of walk around the crowd and talk to folks and see who they were and those types of things. It was pretty easy to tell that the folks that came out for the Trump rallies, they weren't your typical Republicans. We need to recreate, and grow that same coalition in 2024. And we can do it. The opportunity is we need to make our case to them. It will appeal to a number of these different communities, and then we need to ask for their vote. And we know that at the top of the ticket, we've got somebody that can reach out and can relate to these folks, and we can get their vote. We can recreate the magic of 2016 in 2024.
Thank you, Pete. Vance, you were up next. Do you need the question repeated?
Hold on, Vance, we can't hear you. Can you guys hear Vance?
Vance, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I think he is unmuted. Volume? Nope, now you're muted.
Vance,
We can't hear you, Vance.
yeah, go ahead and unmute.
Your red microphone is on, Vance. Can you try to unmute?
How about now?
Now we
Yep.
can hear you.
There we go. All right. All right. Anyway, so again, sorry about the going back and forth here. We're talking about the Great Awakening of Michigan Muslim population. I saw this when Tudor was running. She had an event in Dearborn, and the people in Dearborn are starved for attention. They see the DEI and all the things that are going on in their school district. They want to get involved. And the problem with them wanting to get involved is they don't know the process of getting involved. We've got a Muslim team built into our party already. We're not even using them for what they're going to be good at. We need to get them out into the Dearborn community, get these people registered, because if the people are registered, we can show them what we got to do. Get out and vote. And then I'm a construction worker. Every job site that I go on, every single person in the Republican Party seems like they're a contractor or a working man nowadays. And what we've been doing is every time I go on a job site, all my guys are like, hey, don't start talking politics with him, because then all of a sudden nothing's going to get done. But I tell you what, Everybody wants to talk politics. You go to the grocery store nowadays, and what do you think? You look down at somebody's shoes and right here, they got flag Crocs on. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to engage those people. Every single person you meet has got to be engaged, and we got to talk to them and remind them getting out to vote is the only way we're going to win this party. Not just getting out to vote, but getting involved in your county party, doing lit drops, door knocking. That's what it's going to take to win in 24.
Thank you. The next question, Pete, you're going to go first. Will you offer a strategy to help the campaign teams win the 2 current open house seats? And if so, what will your strategy be?
The answer is absolutely not. All right. Oh, wow. You're not going to help in house races? We need to recognize where we are. These house races are 2 or 3 months out in the future. To come in at this point in time and say, we're going to give you the strategy to win, that's an arrogant approach. What we need to recognize, and thankfully, there are groups right now that have stepped up. They've raised money. They're organizing. They're working with the state house to put forward the best effort to sneak or take back one of these 2 Democratic leaning seats. The MIGOP is in no position to say, we're going to provide the strategy, listen to us, okay? Our approach has to be very straightforward. Here's our situation. We're going to do everything we can to help. Those of you that have been focused on it, that have developed the strategy, that are implementing the tactics to win, how can we be of assistance? What help do you need from us? What do we need to provide for you? I'd love to be in the leadership slot, that last, when we knew these openings were going to occur, that we'd be developing and be part of the strategy development. But the bottom line is, with the prior regime, those communications aren't there. There's not a relationship. Like I said, we saw between Newt Gingrich and Haley Barbour in 1993. There's no relationship between Christina Caramo and her team in the state house. Let's recognize where we are. Let's do everything we can, but let's go in humbly and say, how can we help? Our focus needs to be and get organized to win in November. And provide all the assistance, because just imagine, if we can win just one of those seats, it's absolutely important that we win that seat. Will help, and we will get a tie in the state house. Gretchen Whitmer's agenda will grind to a halt. Let's put the MIGOP in a totally supporting role and not come in and try to take over, in the last 60 days of a campaign. We are supporters. We can't take the lead. We will support the House and other outside groups that have been involved in this for a long period of time.
Thank you, Pete. Vance.
Well, that's Pete's had a good point there. We don't have time to staff some of these races. So when I said this is, all hands on deck, for those 2 seats, it is literally all hands on deck. Everybody needs to deploy into those seats. But again, moving further down the road, we've got an opportunity to build an infrastructure to help everybody out. In the short term, with getting our fundraising going, we could help with mail support and things like that. But again, the 2 seats that are already coming up, all hands on deck. The minimal staff that we can put together, we can deploy there. But again, like I said at the beginning, nobody can do 24 months worth of work in 10 months. This is going to be an all hands on deck. And if we don't all come together to work on those races, then we're going to lose those. And then that would be a bad indication what's going to happen in November. So again, make this a team effort. We've got to realize that the whole division of this whole stupid party has been ridiculous. The name calling, and you're not grassroots enough, or you're too rhino. Again, we're never going to get across the finish line if everybody doesn't get in line and start rowing in the same direction.
We're rowing, Vance. We're rowing. Thank you.
Getting worked up.
Lena, the floor is
find-
yours.
Thank you so much, Bree. I find it incredibly exciting that we have these 2 open house seats and the opportunity to win with these elections coming up very soon here. I see the money that I put in and the line of credit that we established with Comerica Bank and the early millions that we received from our collective fundraising efforts. A lot of those resources are going to be placed on these house races. I feel very optimistic that with our powerful grassroots army and with sufficient financial resources, we will have field offices throughout these regions reaching the voters with these powerful messages of these wonderful conservative candidates. It is, in order to win, we have to have the resources to compete. Digital, mail, walkbooks, door knocking. I'm a big proponent of yard signs. I think that congressional wins can be run through yard signs. And how do we do that? It takes a grassroots army, and it also takes money. I'm excited to have incredible field staff that are up and running quickly. One of my expertises in business is hiring and firing. I know how to build a team very quickly. So on day one, with Chairman Lena Epstein in the MRP, there will be no question that all the money is going to be going to these house races. We're going to disseminate very quickly our grassroots army, and we're going to have infrastructure. I want the candidates and then our nominees to come to the state party and say, knock, knock, knock. I need money. I need people. I need mail. I need digital. I need print, and I need television, and I need commercials. And this is what we are going to be able to offer. In this type of an environment, it's a race against the clock. We've already identified as a group coming into the situation, it is a race against the clock. But through hard work and determination, I think that this group can pull off 2 significant wins. It'll be a very early, decisive message to the entire country that the Republicans in Michigan are strong, we're organized, we're growing. I see those 2 wins as being the top priorities coming out of the box. We're going to be organized, we're going to be unified around our nominees, and we're going to do everything we can to help. And I'll be honored to help support that process.
Thank you, Lena.
Okay, next question. Vance, we'll begin with you on this one. This one's a little bit of a change up. It's going to be a yes or no answer and not more than a 20-second follow-up response.
Let's say that again. This is a yes or no answer. So you must answer either yes or no, and then you can go ahead and respond. No
Okay.
maybes, yes or no.
In other words, don't be a politician about it. Yes or no? Will you withdraw from the Seymour Building Trust lawsuit? Vance, you're up.
Yes, sir. Day one that's our first action item.
Okay, thank you, Vance. Lena, your response.
Yes.
Short and sweet. And Pete.
And maybe, no. Yes. It's a frivolous lawsuit. It has no legal merit. It's crazy. It's a waste of time. Just ask a simple question. How does this win in November? It's divisive. It needs to be stopped.
Okay, thank you.
Would it be
Pete.
okay if I to offer a couple of sentences as I am a no, or do you just want me to stick with the word no?
We already went past, I think we're all in agreement with no. Or yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So everybody was a yes. Is that correct, Lena? Or you're still a yes?
Yes. Oh, definitely a yes. I just wondered if there was more opportunity to extrapolate on why I gave the answer, but that's fine.
We move forward.
Yep. So on this next question, so we're going to do this again. So this is another yes or no, but you do have with your answer, you have 20 seconds with your response to follow up with whatever you would like to follow up with. This is 2 parts. Part 1, this is going to start with you, Lena. Will you withdraw the holdover of the state party constitution? That's part number one. So you can go ahead and answer that portion.
Yes, I think it's a very serious abuse of power to try to overhaul the Constitution in the darkness of night without the state committee having anything to do with it.
Thank you. And then part two, again, yes or no in a response. Will you look into the need for minor bylaw changes, such as allowing district chairs to choose their committee representation?
Would you repeat the question one more time? That it got a little bit interrupted, please.
Absolutely. Will you look into the need for minor bylaw changes, such as allowing district chairs to choose their committee representation?
I will defer to the state committee to decide on when the state committee wants to amend the bylaws. I do not believe it is the role of chair to start trying to control the movement and the evolution of the bylaws. That is truly the power of the state committee, and I will reinforce that power of the state committee.
Thank you, Lena. Up next is Pete. Part number one. Will you withdraw the holdover of the state party constitution?
Yes, if the state party constitution needs to be updated, use it as an opportunity to grow grassroots involvement. Have meetings around the state to get their input. I mean, one of the things that I'm in favor of changing is I'd like to go to closed primaries. Republicans vote in Republican primaries.
I'm so sorry, Pete.
That's
I'm so
fine.
sorry. That was 20 seconds. That's okay. We still have part two. Will you look into the need for minor bylaw changes, such as allowing district chairs to choose their committee representation?
Yeah, absolutely. The state committee is set up, with its various committees. And if they see minor tweaks that need to be made, we ought to move them through and make sure that the state committee has the final say in what those are. Yeah, it needs to be updated all the time.
Excellent. Thank you, Pete. Vance, you're up. I'll repeat these. Part number one. Will you withdraw the holdover of the state party constitution?
Well, there's no real, I mean, that was a pipe dream that KK was working on, and there's nothing going on with that. So we need to focus our efforts on what we're supposed to be doing, not writing some constitution that we're not going to even understand what it's for. So yes.
Thank you. Part number two. Will you look into the need for minor bylaw changes, such as allowing district chairs to choose their committee representation?
Again, bylaw changes are the committee's responsibility, not the responsibility of the chairs to unilaterally make changes. This is an organization that's run by subcommittees. And again, the way we run Oakland County is you've got all these different committees and everybody picks up a piece of the pie.
Excellent. Thank you. On to the next question.
And this question will begin with Pete. Pete, an important driver to the failure of the removed chair was the people she selected to surround herself with. Name 4 or 5 people that you would like to see to form your core team.
Well, number one, it's not 4 or 5. It's got to be a much larger core team than that if we're going to be successful. The number one relationship will be Trump's campaign lead in Michigan. We all recognize that if Trump wins Michigan, we win the presidency and we have a leg up in all of the other races that we care about. The Senate race, congressional races, and taking the state house. So that's number one. That is going to be the most important relationship that we have, and that is the lead in the Trump campaign for Michigan. The second is the other statewide race, which is the Senate campaign. So whoever our Senate candidate is, that person, who's ever leading that effort, is going to be a very tight-knit relationship. Then the state house campaign, whoever is leading that effort is going to be at the top of my core list. I've talked with Stu Foster. Stu is interested in working with us. He brings the experience and institutional background that enables us to be successful. Remember, we're going to be talking about running caucuses within what, 30 days, 30, 45 days? We need the institutional wisdom, someone who knows how to make the trains run on time for the Republican Party. I've talked with Mike Bishop about structuring an organization that gets us the right legal counsel for the right issue as we move forward. Matt DePerno, he and I have had this discussion. Matt is on board to be part of my core team to help lead the MIGOP forward over the next 9 to 10 months. The ace in the hole, Newt Gingrich. Probably the most brilliant political strategist in the last 25 to 30 years. Newt's a good friend of mine. Like I said, he came and asked me to help on the contract with America. We've worked together and we continue to be very good friends. When I was the ambassador in the Netherlands, his wife was the ambassador to the Vatican. He came to the Netherlands and we had him go around the Netherlands and talk to the Dutch about what it means to be conservative. And we had an impact. Geert Wilders won the last election just a few months ago. So, Newt and I have this great relationship. So as we're rebuilding and moving quickly, I'm going to lean on Newt heavily to help us win Michigan in 2024.
Hey, thank you, Pete. Vance, you are up next. Would you like the question repeated or are you ready to go?
Wait,
What was that?
I said go ahead real quick. Oh, well, I've got it printed right here. Important driver to failure. No, was it number 8?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll reread it, Vance. An important driver to the failure of the removed chair was the people she selected to surround herself with. Name 4 to 5 people that you would like to see on your core team.
Well, first of all, the 4 or 5 people, I have to go with, again, with Pete. This is not going to be a 4 or 5 people. This is all hands on deck, like what I said before. But we've been talking to the Clayton from the Trump team. The Trump organization has an awful lot of faith in Oakland County because when he came here last year in June, they never thought that a county party could pull off what we did. When they left here, they said they've seen state parties not accomplish what we did. So Trump actually told Lisa McClain on the way back, he's like, I'm coming back to Oakland County. So again, we impressed him the last time he was here. We're looking forward to bringing him back here again. In fact, when he was here the last time, he used a lot of our executive team here for the motorcade. So again, there's faith in Oakland County from the Trump team. But we've also, Matt DePerno is another great person that's been around helping us out. He's, with his election integrity abilities, he's done a great job trying to find out where all these stolen votes have come from or gone from. And then the other thing, we've been talking to legal teams, Adam Townhouse and Jonathan Koch. They've been talked to them. They're interested in being part of the team. A great organization. Eric Dosser, everybody knows who he is. He personally recommended these guys, and we've talked to quite a few attorneys, and these guys are going to be on board with us. Justin Greasy is another guy. He started with Young Americans for Liberty. He's looking to be an outreach person. And then again, the people that we've got already on our team, Ali and Hassan, those guys are going to kill it in Dearborn, and they're going to get our Muslim vote. Even Roa, get all these people together, and that's what it's going to take to get us across the finish line in November.
Thank you, Vance. Lena, how about your 4 to 5 people on your core team?
I'm super excited to announce this. I think that given everything that our party is facing, hiring people that full-time paid staff, people that are ready to go to work, hit the ground running on day one is essential. Sandy Kiesel, who is beloved by all of us in this community, is going to be in charge of election integrity and candidate training. She is nothing shy of extraordinary. She's wonderful with communications as well, but Sandy is going to be hitting the ground running on day one, has an incredible program, a team of people that work with her, and we're super excited about Sandy Kiesel. Matt DePerno is a brilliant lawyer. He has agreed to be in-house counsel under the Epstein administration. Matt is in high demand. I got a chance to work with Matt recently, and I'm just incredibly impressed by his talents. When it comes to legal, I look forward to working with him. Scott Greenlee on fundraising. I will be the primary fundraiser of the operation, but Scott has said he will do whatever he can to support the operation. And then our very own JD Glauser. I got to know JD over the last year, and JD will be responsible for delegate training and recruitment. And as it's been said before, it will require a much larger team, but these are the people that the members on this call can expect on day one to hit the ground running. I'm the type of leader that wants to embolden and empower those to do what they do best. I feel like this team is exceptional. I too have had talks with Stu Foster, Danny Bartolotta, lots of other fine talent in this community. And I'm really excited to announce the team tonight. So thank you.
Lena, thank you.
Number.
Oh, that's mine. Sorry, folks. We are going to start with Vance. How do you plan to unite the different factions of the party?
Oh, Bree, I'll tell you what, I think I've already been doing it because, you know, I've been all across the state, not running as a candidate for this job. I've been traveling the state to all the different events. I was at your Christmas party, was just in Frankenmuth last weekend. And I go to these events not because I'm running for a chair or anything like that. I've been doing that all year since we were this for Oakland County. I'm doing it because these are my people, and I support my people, and I love everybody in this state. When Reggie and I left the second grade, we were the last ones to leave your party, by the way. When we were leaving, we were walking across the parking lot, and I said, Reggie, and I'm getting a little choked up here because I said, we've got a lot of great people in this state. And I'll tell you what, we need to fight for these people. And I think, again, if everybody joins together, we're going to make a big difference. And that's what it's going to take. Donald Trump is going to be the guy. He's already up 11 points. We get Donald Trump across the finish line. You want to talk about uniting this state? This will be a rocket ship off to the moon. We will make Michigan red again by getting Donald Trump over the finish line. So everybody, let's join together and do that as a team effort.
Amen. Thank you, Vance. Lena, you're up next.
Would you repeat the question, please?
Sure, of course. I'm so sorry. How do you plan to unite the different factions of the party?
This is a question that's very near and dear to my heart. There have been lots of sleepless nights trying to assess the damage caused by the prior administration, the alienation of us as grassroots activists, the donors, the voters. People are feeling very disenfranchised. So I've already begun the very important work of uniting the base. I have been talking to multiple factions all day, every day over the last many months, trying to appeal to our sensitivities that we have more in common with one another than our differences. At the end of the day, the true enemy is not those of us in different factions of the party. It's the Democrats that want to take away our freedoms and control our children and take away our parental rights. So when it comes to unity, it'll be a very slow, careful, dedicated process to reaching out to everyone to say, you are loved. And one of the things that I try to bring forward in my leadership style is love and kindness and grace. And you wouldn't believe some of the folks that I am connected with are from some of the most opposite sides of the party, but we come together around these commonalities. In the end, I think all of us in this party, we're here because we care about our country, we care about our family. And when it comes to policy, we usually line up pretty well. So I'm eager to do a unity tour. Events are of the utmost importance. Events have not been happening to the extent that they will be. Michigan Republican Party will issue really fun, exciting events to recruit people to come and enjoy one another. It's such a wonderful community. I have a 6-year-old daughter. We love to participate in gatherings. And I think that some of these, having some early wins, some political wins in Team Michigan Republican Party's favor will do a lot to bring us together. We have lost so much as a state over the last many years. We have failed as a party. It makes sense that we fight with one another when times are hard. I think getting those early successful wins will be another step towards unity, and having the resources to come together is incredibly exciting.
Lena, thank you so much. Pete, you're up. How do you plan to unite the factions of the party?
What we're going to do is we're going to replicate perhaps some of the most significant accomplishments that Republicans have brought to the country. 1993, Newt laid out a vision. It was very simple. He asked me the question when he asked me to work on the contract with America. Pete, do you ever win a vote at committee or on the House floor? Kind of like, well, no, not really. But Newt, we put up some really, really good arguments, but we lose every vote. He says, all right, just imagine coming back in 1995, January 3 of 1995, and every member of the Republican conference is going to hold the gavel. You're going to set the agenda. Pretty powerful message. We came back with 230 some Republican members in the House caucus, and we all had a gavel. 1995, a guy that's not very popular among Republicans today anymore, John Kasich. John Kasich he's a congressman from Ohio. He became the chairman of our budget committee. I was on the committee. He laid out a vision and said, we are going to balance the budget. A lot of people laughed. Most people said it wasn't possible. But he shared a vision for us. It's the spending, stupid. We got to stop the spending. We ended up balancing the budget, which most people said would never happen. It was a vision. And then there's the vision that we all know about. Make America great again. Not too hard to buy into that vision. We heard it in 2016. We'll hear it in 2024, and we're going to support it and drive it and make it America's agenda again in 2024. Make America great. We're going to lay out a vision for Michigan. You win Michigan, Donald Trump is president. You win Michigan, we have a great shot at picking up a Senate seat. We're going to grow our congressional delegation. We're going to take the state house. We're going to stop the Biden administration dead in its tracks, and we're going to stop Gretchen Whitmer. There will be no more losing at the federal level. There will be no more losing at the state level. Guess what? We're going to get tired of winning. And if that's not a unifying message among Republicans, that we can win on the border, we can win on spending, we can win on all of these issues, that will bring us together.
Pete, thank you.
Okay, last question before we go to our closing statements. This one will begin with Lena. Lena, again, this is one of those yes or no questions where you can have up to 20 minutes for a follow-up response.
Whoa, dog.
20 minutes.
20 seconds, I'm sorry. Read that one wrong. Okay, Lena, question. Will you include Kristina Karamo in your leadership plan going forward? And if so, how or why not?
I will not hire Kristina going forward. I think she's a lovely lady and I wish her all the best. But as a business expert, I would never be able to hire her at this time.
Next, Pete, would you include Kristina Karamo in your leadership plan going forward? And if so, how or why not?
Having read press reports today that she has sent me a cease and desist effort or notice because of the efforts that I'm engaged with the group that is on the line tonight, the answer is no. But it would have been even no without a cease and desist. She's not demonstrated the capability to facilitate my primary objective, which is
Pete.
winning in November.
Vance, same question to you. Will you include Kristina Karamo in your leadership plan going forward?
No, I don't
Why not?
see any place Christina. And, you know, it's unfortunate because this is not a personal thing. We've said this to so many different people. This is not a personal thing, but I'm sorry at this time, I don't have room for her in this party.
Thank you, Vance.
You all are amazing. That concludes the questions that we have for you. So now what we would like to do is offer you an opportunity to take 2 minutes and give us your closing statements and why we should vote for you. Pete, we're going to go ahead and open with you.
Hey, great. Thanks, Bree, Andy. This was fun. This is what politics should be about. You know, it's about winning, but it's also about doing it in a methodology that allows you to have fun. If you're having fun, people get attracted to you. If you're being successful, people will be attracted to you. They will want to join. I saw that so often in politics. I saw it in my first campaign. We laid out a vision, but we also put together a plan that brought in all kinds of grassroots, and we had fun. And then at the end of the day, on that primary day, we won an election that nobody ever expected us to win. And I don't say this is a model for what I want to do at the MIGOP, at the Michigan Party. You know, we did it with no money. Just imagine when we get the money in from Washington, from the state, from major donors and those types of things, what we can do. Hey, I'm a conservative, I'm a populist, I'm a man of faith, I'm independent. I've demonstrated the leadership skills necessary to lead the Michigan Party. Thanks for listening to me tonight to make my case. Thanks to Vance. Thanks to Lena for running. I ask for all of your support on Saturday and through to victory in November of 2024. Make Michigan and America great again. Thank you.
Pete, thank you so much. Vance, your closing.
Well, thanks, Bree and Andy. You know, when starting this in Oakland County, it was about, actually, let's go back to this. After running for 2020 Congress, didn't win, I had so much fun running. I wanted to keep the fun going. So we had these red team parties, and a lot of you people on here have been to my red team parties. My last red team party, we had 200 people. I had Caramo, DePerno, Kevin Rinke, Rebrandt, Kelly, all of the candidates were there. Linda Lee Tarver, they were all there. It was a funeral for the 14th. I had a hearse in my front yard. I had a Louisiana jazz band playing in the backyard. You know why? Because it was fun. We had a good time putting the 14th congressional district to bed. So then they said, hey, why don't you run for OCRP? I'm like, why would I want to do that? It sounds like a full-time job. And then I said, you know what? I'll do it. Because you know why? I thought it was fun. I thought that we could do big things for Oakland County. And you know what? We did do big things. We brought Donald Trump here. We had 3,000 screaming people having a good time. That's why I got involved. And you know what? Everybody is upset. Everybody's fractured right now. And you know what? A lot of people have been saying, I am done after Saturday. I am done after the next 10 months. You know why? Because nobody's having any fun. And you know what? Nobody's getting paid for this. We all got to get together and let's throw some events. Let's raise some money and let's get our good candidates over the finish line. Let's get Donald Trump elected and let's make Michigan red again. Thank you guys very much. See you on Saturday.
Vance, thank you so much. And thank you for participating. That leaves Lena. Your closing, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Bree. The two of you are fantastic, and everybody on the line is fantastic. You know, as I said earlier, I have the business experience to deliver results. I have the courage to speak the truth, and I have the inspiration to build the team for success in November. This is a lot of fun tonight, and I hope that the joy in my heart is coming through in my message. But I also am delivering a very serious message tonight, that the Michigan Republican Party has been broken, and it's time for an emergency manager. And Lena Epstein is that emergency manager by virtue of my experience and preparations and qualifications to serve. I understand the art of hiring and firing, building out infrastructure, entering into agreements, fulfilling those agreements, working with others to build consensus, having a boss, having contracts, having relationships. I am uniquely qualified as the best candidate in the pool to serve as the next chairman. It's going to be a 9-month assignment, very, very challenging. We're all going to have to do everything we can to come together and work hard. I have an extraordinarily hard work ethic, a love of work and the toil. And I'm very ready to roll up my sleeves and do the hard work so that we can all together deliver victory in November. Michigan is a red state, everybody. Let's be joyous and excited about the next chapter. And I invite all of you to join me, Lena Epstein, for Michigan Republican Party Chairman. I humbly ask for your vote. My phone lines are open. You've all heard from me. Please call me tomorrow. Let me know how you think it went. Do you have ideas? Do you have feedback? Thank you so much. And I'm honored to be a candidate tonight. Thank you for your time. God bless you all.
Lena, thank you. All three of you, Pete, Vance, Lena, we appreciate you. And I say that personally for myself, but I think I speak for all of us here on state committee. This is a mess. You are all amazing to have the authority within you to step up and want to take on this, because it is a beast. And I'm just going to say it, there's probably a lot of demons that need to be shaken out of the Republican Party right now. We appreciate you, all of you. And with that said, personally, I just want to say, I kind of wish we could take you all and just put you all together on one team. And I feel like there would be unity across the entire state. So with that said, before we let you go, we're going to have Andy have a closing prayer, and then we are going to have our candidates exit, and then everyone else we're going to invite to stay on so we can have a discussion. But if you'll join us in prayer now.
Father, thank you for bringing all of us together as a united family under your divine hand. Father, we know that politics, unfortunately, can be a very messy business, but we also know it need not be. If we practice your love, as we find in the book of Acts, where the disciples who were leaderless, one of their first acts that they had to do was come to you for guidance and pray. They held an election, and they did it peacefully. And from what I witnessed with the three candidates here today, I think we can rest assured that you are watching over us and will bring us a new leader, a new champion to follow, so that we can win Michigan and bring peace, bring security and prosperity to Michigan again. Father, we thank you for these blessings, and please keep the three candidates safe as they travel the state and talk to voters or state committee members the next few days. In your son we pray, amen.